I'm going to break down the psychology behind poor communicators. And I'm going to go through 3 sections of this: cognitive barriers, resisting feedback, and lack of emotional regulation. So as I'm sure we're all aware of in society, our attention spans are decreasing more and more, and this is because of overconsumption with technology and in social media. I understand that consuming content can certainly be beneficial, and yep, you get those quick dopamine fixes, but I would say if you're constantly doing this, like day after day, it's not worth it. Stop consuming and start creating. Because the thing is, the more we mindlessly scroll, the more we are frying our brains, therefore depriving us of those real world skills that we need to be, consistently adapting and integrating into our daily lives. And one of these crucial skills, I would say the most essential one, would be the ability to effectively communicate. A perfect example of this would be AI. So many of us are relying on something that is literally artificial to communicate, to have difficult conversations, to write our content. And although AI can be super beneficial for many reasons, sure, you should not be solely relying on something that is literally artificial to communicate. Why? Because when conflict arises in both your personal and professional life and you need to have difficult conversations, you can't whip out ChatGPT to plug in your answers right in front of the other people. Number 2, resisting feedback. Listen, I understand none of us really inherently love feedback. Like, it's not super fun to be like, hey, you kind of suck at this and you need to get better. I get that. But the thing is, giving and receiving feedback is truly one of the best gifts you can give and also receive. Why? Because it means, hey, although I may not be the best at this, I'm willing to learn and I want to get better. And I think people often miss out on this big component of feedback, and it is giving it to yourself. Being so self-aware and noticing the areas in which we can improve for our own success and well-being. If you are constantly having conversations with somebody and they never end favorably, it's either the other person or it's time to look in the mirror and say, hey, I might need to work on some things in this department, and that's okay. Again, I want to improve and it's time to get better. Number 3, lack of emotional regulation. When we don't manage our emotions well, this will immediately translate into poor communication, therefore affecting us and others. And it truly is a negative domino effect. The ego, defensiveness, feeling like somebody is personally attacking our own identity. These things all rank extremely high in terms of why we may feel the need to project onto somebody else when having a conversation. But the thing is, when we do let our ego win, right, or when we jump straight to defensiveness, we're only going to look less intelligent and articulate, and we certainly don't want that when communicating. So if you need to take a pause or take a break when you're talking with somebody, do that instead. Say, hey, I'm going to take a break here. Let's come back to this conversation at a different time, rather than rather than jumping straight into defense mode. If you guys start utilizing these tips, I promise you will not only have more productive conversations, but this will immediately flow into every area of your life for utmost success.